Okay, Cecil's in the bath, and he decides to bring up this subject, and I don't think being in the bath is a very appropriate place to be while talking about this. But he has resorted to some blackmail here, so let's go through this. His tone of his voice, his demeanour in this is very disturbing. So let's get into this.
What's up, guys? Now, Gordon, the guy that got fired from our security company because he was putting sleeping pills in people's drink, which is a fact.
A fact he will go on to say later on is second-hand information. He got the information from somebody else. And when it comes to Cecil and second-hand information, Cecil's not very good with second-hand information. He's not good at all. We're less than a minute into the video, and the water droplets is driving me nuts already. And it comes across very sinister. It's Cecil, why did you do this in the bath? Why?
Wants to harass me on YouTube. But you don't see me putting sleeping pills in females' drinks, though, right?
This is a very serious allegation that he got second hand from somebody else, because it'll go on to say later on, and he decides he's going to put this out on YouTube and think it's a great idea. This is a lawsuit ready to happen. But Cecil doesn't do thinking first. He does talking first, and then he does the thinking, which lands him in trouble more often than not.
I find it strange the character of the people that my trolls choose to use against me. Oh shit. Do you know what this is right here, Mr. Gordon? Well, you got busted doxing me through my sister, and he didn't get what you were looking for, you fucking moron. Why are you clout chasing, looking for evidence for my haters, bro? You fucking idiot.
It's not that hard to find evidence, Cecil. It comes right from your mouth, to be honest with you. But it's not that hard.
Like, seriously. Fucking morons out here, dude. Hey, Gordon, do you realize these people were already harassing me for like 7 years trying to prove this about me? And I've explained all that shit to you, buddy. I guess ignorant people don't listen, do they?
When Cecil was 15, 16, 17, and he lived with his aunt, his mum's cousin actually, he was babysitting, and he done sexual things to an 8 and a 10-year-old. That is the short version of the testimony, he calls, that he done a number of years ago. And he done that to get the word out first, because some rapper had threatened to out him. And he's been trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube all this time, for the last 7 years. And he's come to this conclusion that, well, he's putting out there that the video is edited. The video has already gone through editing software to be analysed. It is not edited in any way. But he changes that lie to, he says these things to be relatable to others. It's not that he actually done this. And a whole host of other different excuses that actually contradict his previous lie. He He doesn't keep a track of his lies, if you know what I mean. But everything has come from his own mouth, and he's been trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube all this time. It hasn't worked. He's convincing himself that it's working, that nobody's listening to us, but actually nobody's actually listening to him now.
But this right here is your town. Erlanger.
This is where things start getting really crazy here.
I just wanted to give you a big giant idea right here in this big circle. It's a 5-mile radius of the Kenton County part of Erlanger, next to Florence and all that stuff. And yes, I found out. I know your number too. I know your phone number too, by the way, buddy. I know where you live and everything. So if you push it to where I have to press charges on you, if you keep harassing me, I will contact the authorities and talk to them and see what I can do about getting you to stop harassing me on YouTube.
Believe it or not, this gets crazier.
And social media. Because what you're doing, what you don't realize is, if you actually search the law, you would realize that repetitive harassment and slander, not only can you be sued for, but it's a felony, bro.
Multiple people could sue this guy, Cecil, for slander, including myself.
It's a felony to harass people on a regular in Kentucky. So I'm asking you to leave me alone. But I did want to do this video to show you how many sex offenders are in your city.
Right, you brought up this map with sex offenders and stuff. The guy he's talking about is not on that list. So this is a kind of a bit of emotional blackmail. Very, very scummy, by the way. It's a really dirty move, but you know at this point that Cecil is really desperate.
Every little house right there. Is a sex offender.
Can we stop with the dripping water, please? It just sounds really bad.
Every house. From one end of the circle to the other is 5 miles all the way around. That whole circle is a 5-mile radius. From one side of the circle to the other. So anyway, which way you go starting at the line is 5 miles. So Erlanger's not that big. So, I mean, it goes all the way to the river, it looks like. I guess it has to with 5 miles. It's right on the outskirts of Independence, right there, Richwood, Hebron, the airport. It covers the airport too. So this circle definitely covers your house. What's up, planet? But I just wanted to show everybody that this dude used to work with me. He was spiking people's drinks at work and he got fired for it.
Right. These allegations are really fucked up. And what he's going to talk about is really messed up. And if this guy actually did these things, it's really messed up. I do have a question though. Why is Cecil surrounded by so many fucked up people? But again, I'm going to take this with a big, massive pinch of salt because he's very, very bad with second-hand information.
What kind of shit is that? That's fucking weird, dude. Like, why would you be spiking people? You know? Like, what's your ultimate plan if you would have succeeded in making somebody pass out? Like, what was you going to do to them? Like... No, but 5 people who worked there after they fired him told me about it.
Bingo, got him. So he knows it for a fact. At the beginning he says he knows it for a fact. got this information from 5 different people. And the way Cecil stores information in his head, the information degrades over time. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Cecil must be really, if this is all false, Cecil is desperate, but I know by the tone of his voice, Cecil is in a very desperate situation right now, so he is trying. This guy must have something on Cecil. Now, I'm not saying this for a fact, but to go out of his way, to go to these measures, there is something up. There's definitely something up here.
I have friends, and some of them still work there, and I'm not going to say their names because I'm not going to get them in trouble. I would have never brought this up if the dude wouldn't have started trolling me and trying to go to my sisters to try to find guilt.
So this is basically a blackmail ploy, which is not his first blackmail tactic this week. He's already done another stream about another guy, Gordon, and he blackmailed him. Now we're still trying to figure out, is it the same guy or is it 2 different guys? I'm nearly sure that it is 2 different guys by going through both of the footage. The other guy was a carpet cleaning guy. This is a security guard guy. But this is not his first rodeo into blackmail.
Like, okay, I'm sitting there picturing Gordon like we either need justice or he needs to clear his name. Now, how about y'all just leave an innocent motherfucker alone? If you look at this map right here, this is a map of over 75 actual registered, convicted fucking sex offenders. 98% of them offended against children.
And the guy he's talking about isn't on this list. Just to make that clear.
That are all around you, Gordon, in your city. You can find this map on the sex offender registry. You can search any name you want. You can search my name if you want to. You're not going to find nothing. I searched yours. I couldn't find nothing. So good for you, buddy.
So why is the map in front of us? Why are we seeing this map? This is a psychological blackmailing ploy. That's what he's doing. He's trying to break this guy down.
I guess you just haven't been caught yet, you know?
Yet again, more allegations. Where he got information from 5 people, and he's running with this. This is gonna get him in serious trouble sooner or later, because Cecil does not do research at all. If there's any reading to be done, he'll read the first couple of lines and he'll make up the rest. That's the way Cecil works.
But because I think you're a rapist. That's just my opinion.
In Cecil's head, opinions are facts. Opinions can get people into trouble. But again, Cecil talks and then he does the thinking afterwards. Then he realizes he messes up. But very often he stands by his word. This is a man in a very, very desperate situation when he's going to these lengths.
I'm not saying that you are a rapist because I don't slander people.
Oh, boys. This is where Cecil proves that he's a complete and utter liar. Because the main reason why a lot of people will stick with taking a lot of actions against Cecil is he slanders them and he never takes it back. He will not make an apology. He will not take it back. This is one of the reasons why I stick on his case, because he actually slandered me very badly. And that slander, he has made similar allegations to most people that are on his case. And he will not take it back, because the guy very, very rarely apologizes. He's on the internet and he thinks he's untouchable. But in time, he will figure out that this is not the case.
But I personally think that you might be one. Because you got all these rapists and the sodomizers and child fucking disgusting ass child molesters all around your city, and you're harassing me.
Sherlock Holmes here has come to the conclusion that this guy is a CP, a cheese pizza, because there is CP people living all around the city. If you look closely on the map, where Cecil lives, where Cecil lives is very close to that circle, actually. So, you know, Cecil has come up with this plan in the back to get this guy to shut up, and it isn't working. And he's talking about CP in the back. That mental picture will disturb me for weeks.
Someone who's not even on this list. But I find it very strange, buddy.
This guy wanted to be a cop at one point. Thank God that hasn't happened. That's all I can say about that.
The people try to use people like you, someone who tries to poison their coworkers so you can play with their butt or whatever.
I have one question. Why does Cecil talk about people's butts all the time? He's even talked about mine. Apparently I have got a crusty butthole. I just find this a little bit weird. Do you know what? I feel like I've gone into the dark web, because this has just got so many creepy vibes. And they're all coming from Cecil.
Whatever fucking kind of plan you had for them when you were fucking spiking their drinks at work, that's just fucking, that's sickening, dude.
If that has happened, that is really, really disturbing. But because it's Cecil, I am going to call bullshit until it's proved to be fact. Because Cecil's not very good at facts. Just take that into account.
You might as well be a child molester.
I can't believe he just said that. What is wrong with this guy? Has he had some sort of mental breakdown of some kind? Because this is fucking crazy.
To sit there and violate somebody's personal space like that, you know? To try to knock people out on the job for whatever reason, that's just weird, dude. Like, what's going through your head?
Again, if this is the case, it is really disturbing and it's really bad. But again, it's Cecil that's telling us this. And, yeah, a large pinch of salt. Maybe a bucket of salt. When Cecil's desperate, he's liable to come out with anything. And this is what's happening right now. Cecil is absolutely in desperation. And he's thinking about this all the time. It's going through his head, and this is his attack back. But there's something just really, really disturbing about all of this. And it's like he's just breaking down. He's breaking down, and he's just letting words come out. whatever's in his head, like.
Makes me wonder about what kind of person you are. But it's strange that my haters will use people like you as tools. Disgusting, horrible people. People like you.
I'll just translate that into English. He thinks that we are going to use this guy as a tool against Cecil, and this is his attack back. This is his reaction to that. This is his defense. And if this turns out to be completely and utterly false, Cecil could land himself in really, really hot water here. Just take into account that I'm only reporting on one side of the story. I don't know this other guy at all. I haven't a clue who he is. I'm just reacting to Cecil's reaction to all of this.
You know, and they'll use people like the John guy that set me up. Somebody that I told everyone the truth. You see, I don't slander people. If I know something and I say it, it means it's the truth.
No, Cecil slanders people all the time. All the time. Now this other guy, John, this carpet cleaning guy, Cecil came out recently with a story, and it's a half story, and he accused it was kind of half a story, but you get this indication that there was a crime that took place and a possible kidnapping. But Cecil's going to hold back that information and use it as a weapon against this guy if this guy opens his mouth, which I think is a really, really disturbing thing to do. If there's a crime committed against a person, you don't hold it against a weapon. But this is Cecil. Cecil has got no moral compass whatsoever.
I told everyone on YouTube what I seen John do.
No, he didn't. He came up with half a story to gives an impression that there was a crime committed, and he won't release the rest of the information. We don't even know that Cecil reported this crime. So, you know, he's using this as a blackmail employ as well, and a blackmail employ involving a crime against a person, which is disgusting. But then again, I'm calling bullshit on this because it is Cecil. Cecil is a serial liar. So I'm calling bullshit. Cecil is the weak point in all of these stories because Cecil is a serial liar. And he has lied constantly for the last 7 years. And he has lied about lies, and he's lied that he has come up with lies to debunk his previous lies. He cannot stop lying. And I have no reason to believe that this is anything other than a lie. You know, the facts, I'm going by what Cecil says and does. And my indication is that Cecil is making all this stuff up. You know, the proof isn't there. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but if it did, it is extremely disturbing what he is coming out with. But then again, Cecil again is a serial liar. He's proved that many, many, many times. Let me also add that Cecil would be a very, very extremely bad witness to anything.
You know, and people still fuck with him. So it's like, okay. Please remind me again, why should I pay attention to these people? Because these people literally are willing to fuck with, associate with, network with as tools against me, trying to prove their bullshit about me. Guys, I told y'all fucking 7 years ago that you're not going to get anywhere with what you're saying about me.
Welcome inside Cecil's head. It's only Cecil and 2 or 3 other people that believe Cecil. The evidence is as clear as glass. It's right in front of him. It's his own words. and he's still going along with this, and he hasn't got anywhere. You know, yes, he has his rants on YouTube, and he has, he has good viewers when he has a rant, but they're all hate watchers. Nobody's interested when he talks about his music or he talks about a different topic or anything like that. And very often people that want to hear him rant will watch some of those other videos because he tends to go off topic very, very quickly. If he's got a rant in his head, it'll come out in the middle of a spurt box session or talking about music or talking about another topic. If it's in his head, he's going to come out with it, and he's going to come out with it on at the very unexpected moments. And that's where he gets his viewership from. He has most of YouTube actually blocked.
You're not going to get any further than that fake confession video, dude.
I didn't need to do what I did, but I did analyze the audio, and I put it up on YouTube. It is as clear as day. If Cecil doesn't understand it, that isn't my fault. The video was, the record was pressed at the beginning of the video, the record was stopped at the end of the video. It was not cut in any way in between those times. It is one straight piece of smooth audio with no manipulation whatsoever. If there was manipulation that took place, it would show in the background audio, which did not happen. I put it through a spectrogram. There is no glitches in the audio. It's only Cecil doesn't understand that. Cecil calls himself a paranormal researcher, and he still doesn't understand that. He hasn't debunked me. He hasn't fought against that evidence. He hasn't come up with a valid argument. He just called me a fat sloppy B word. That's his response to my video analysis. That was his response. I was expecting more from Cecil, but no. He resorted to personally attacking me, which means when a person personally attacks you, it means that's all they've got. They have got nothing else. It's a desperate ploy to just attack when they have absolutely nothing, and that was the case with Cecil. The audio was not edited in any way. It shows in the spectrogram. The spectrogram gives a visualization of audio, and it will show any slight manipulation of that audio. And it didn't take place in this case, so case closed. You add that evidence to the multiple pieces of evidence that other people have, that basically it came from Cecil's mouth, then you definitely have a case that's closed.
How many of my videos? Yeah, why the fuck would you use somebody like John, who was underage girl panty dipping, someone who I know for a fact was attracted to underage girls?
Again, judging from Cecil's history of lying and manipulation, I would not take this, as gospel, because Cecil has a habit of lying, and he will lie himself out of a very desperate situation. I believe he is in a very desperate situation right now, and this is why he's resorting to lying. I'm not saying that these incidents didn't take place, but I'm just telling you that Cecil is a very extremely bad, unreliable witness. And it is clear. The history is there.
Like, what possesses my haters to use the certain type of people, the disgusting individuals that they choose to use as weapons against me? And honestly, I don't know if you actually got the real John. I don't know. I don't know if you got the real arresting officer. I don't know. I didn't watch the videos. And I won't.
He won't watch the videos yet. He will comment on them. There was a live stream that he was on a couple of nights ago, and Random News did come on and do a premiere, and it was very, very strange that Cecil decided to cut his stream early when Random News had just come on. Very interesting indeed. So it led me to believe that actually Cecil did actually watch Random News's video. Cecil likes to tell people that he doesn't pay people attention and that. Yet he can come on a stream and he can tell you exactly what you said on a video. Very strange indeed. And then he covers that up by saying, oh, somebody else told me. Yet again, another piece of second-hand information that Cecil will run with, which in most cases is unreliable. This guy calls himself a paranormal researcher. He is none of the sort.
Because there's no worry in my bloodstream. Like, I know I'm innocent. Like, do y'all realize how confident I am?
He doesn't sound confident on the internet right now. What makes him come on and do a stream like this? If you weren't in a panic mode. Cecil is in panic mode. He's trying to pretend that he's not in a panic by talking real slow and calm and that. I can see through that. Cecil is in a desperate situation and is coming up with this blackmail because he's in a panic. That's what's happening here. I can see through that stuff.
In my innocence, dude, I just think it's sick that y'all are okay with going around calling an innocent person a show mode just because you think that's the only thing that you could say based off of the video that y'all altered.
It was proved that the video was not edited in any way. Anybody else can do the same test. It's a very, very simple test. Anybody can do it. The video was not altered. Everybody else knows that except Cecil. Well, Cecil knows that himself. It came from his mouth. But Cecil thinks that by saying this over and over again, he can convince people that everybody else is lying. It's not the case. It's case closed. It's case closed a long, long time ago. Cecil's the only one fighting the fight right now. It's all over. It's not a case of the court of public opinion either. The facts are there. The facts are as plain as day. And the multiple pieces of evidence of Cecil being a serial liar adds to all of that. It's an open and shut case. There's nothing more to argue with. Cecil has no argument. He hasn't come up with a valid argument to any of this. None of it. He has come up with multiple lies. One lie after another which debunks the previous lie. It's just a layer upon layer of lies that's coming from Cecil. There is no valid arguments whatsoever. So I'm afraid it's case closed.
Did your advertising about me? That's the only thing you could say to get people not to like me, just simply because I don't hate on Steve Huff like you.
Right, here's the thing about the Steve Huff thing, right? A number of people that have gone up against Cecil have called out Steve Huff for charging thousands and thousands of dollars for these wonder boxes, which I would say I have something similar to an astral doorway here that I paid $150 to $200, whereas there's these thousands. As well as that, you've got the coffin chasing, you've got multiple pieces of evidence where he has manipulated his audio. He has put jump cuts between questions and answers. It's not that fucking hard to figure out. some of these people, including myself, have called him out on a number of occasions, and he sees this commonality, and he thinks we're all haters. I actually don't hate Steve Huff. I don't agree with everything he says. I don't agree with a lot of things he does. I do agree with some things, but I don't hate Steve Huff. Do you know? I don't. And these other people say they don't hate him either. This is a diversion from Cecil. In his head, because we hate Steve Huff, we're hateful people. And we don't hate anybody. It's not the case. This is a diversion. We don't elaborate on it. It's Cecil coming out with words because he doesn't know what to say. This is his form of attack, and it's fruitless. It's just rubbish.
Just simply because I defended Steve Huff when y'all was calling him a fraud. Like, it's fucking sickening to me, bro. You know, I was gonna do a ghost box session on Bruce Lee tonight, but it's like, didn't you use somebody like that little dude that I used to live on the same street with, on Hermes Street? I'm not even gonna say his name. I don't know if he's still underage. So you guys are using kids, getting them to lie and say I snorted drugs around them?
Recently, Cecil got into a confrontation with a guy called Lil Lyco, who's a rapper in his local area. Now, I was on that stream when Cecil went live. He deleted 2 streams because he found out he was talking to me. But Lil Lyco called him out on the Spirit Box session of Kobe Bryant. He didn't elaborate on it. But Cecil made it into a big massive thing, and it turned into a big massive piece of drama, all created by Cecil. And then accused Lil Lyco of being jealous about Cecil's music and stuff. Lil Lyco is not jealous of you at all. But in Cecil's head, I think in Cecil's head right now, he's under pressure from all sides. There is multiple people coming at him from all angles, and he doesn't know where to go. He's kind of cornered at the moment, and this is why he's coming out with this kind of attack. He's coming across very slow talking and that, but he is not calm. He is not calm in any way. This is not calm Cecil. This is panic Cecil.
Because at that time, y'all wasn't saying this bullshit. Y'all knew it was bullshit. Y'all figured y'all would use the high on camera lie because that was working for you back then. You see, I debunked it. I debunked it. And now I have to debunk every fucking slandering rumor that's said about me? I don't think so.
This is very interesting, because we do encourage Cecil to make a valid argument, but he thinks that why should I have to do this? Because he doesn't have an argument, and I think Cecil avoids making an argument because he knows he'll only make a fool of himself. But he's not even fighting for himself. He'd say, fuck you all, and I don't need to prove myself innocent. You know, because I'm innocent. That's basically his response, and that. But the evidence is piled up against him. He hasn't made any effort to counterclaim these things. He hasn't made any effort whatsoever, because I believe he can't. An innocent person will fight tooth and nail for their innocence, but Cecil doesn't do that at all. He just says, fuck you people, I don't have to prove anything to you haters. That's his response. He's got no argument. And when he does that, it actually makes him look even more guilty. It's very interesting.
I don't think so. So here you go, Mr. Gordon. My new, so-called new local troll. You literally told my sister that you're one of my new trolls, and I used to work with you, and that you're going to harass me. You're not going to stop because you're obsessed with it. Like, dude, you're literally giving incriminating evidence, not only to me, but to my family members. And then soon as my sister defended me and said, what you put out in the universe comes back to you, won't you leave good people alone? You know what he said? He started insulting my sister.
Again, this is coming from Cecil, so, pinch of salt, folks, pinch of salt.
He literally disrespected my sister. Then he made an excuse for why he doesn't show his face. If you're going to show your name, show your face, dude. See, that's what makes me think that you guys, that it's not really the Bay Gordon dude. Like, I don't really think it's him.
If you show your identity to Cecil, when Cecil is in a very desperate situation, he'll have many bad things to say about that face. This is why I'm not on camera right now. Because I don't want to give Cecil more leverage to call me all the names under the sun, which he normally does. Cecil very, very often resorts to personal insults and body shaming when he's got no argument. On YouTube and on platforms, we have this unspoken rule that we don't talk, we don't use people's wives as a weapon, and we don't use personal insults as a weapon. But Cecil has got no moral compass, and he will do anything to fight for himself. He doesn't even use the proper techniques to actually fight his own case, so he resorts to personal insulting. So, he's saying, why don't you show your face? Very often, you're better off not even showing your face to Cecil, because he will just use that as a weapon against you. Cecil is a very, very, he's one of these people with no moral compass, because he thinks he's untouchable on YouTube. He's behind the camera there, and he's a keyboard warrior. That's what he is. Not realizing how much damage he's doing to his own presence on the internet. His presence on the internet is as good as gone, because everybody knows about him. And this fight with insults will go on for a number of more years. And this is all he's got to fight, his innocence. His so-called innocence. This is all he has. And it's just going to be a vicious circle of just going around in circles. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere with Cecil. Let's put it that way.
It wouldn't surprise me, because the dude is fucking disturbed, but and if it is him, that means he's naturally a troll anyways, before he even knew who I was.
Here we go. If it is him, Cecil doesn't do his research before he opens his mouth. That's a prime example of that.
The funny thing I don't get is why these people don't give me the same fucking energy when I'm face to face with them, but as soon as they don't see me no more, they want to ride my dick like my haters do.
Cecil has a habit of coming out with stuff like this, and it doesn't look very good, in Cecil's case, especially with the things he's involved with. It just doesn't. He thinks he sounds tough and that, but he uses these sexual things, and it just doesn't. It doesn't help. It doesn't help at all.
They want to act hard. I don't get it. Gordon, you obviously don't have a criminal record, bro, because you already told me that you possess a firearm.
So why are we talking about this?
You obviously don't have a criminal record because you obviously had a security job. So I would suggest if you want to keep your record clean, leave me alone.
You know the Cecil's desperate and he's resorting to blackmail like this. And I don't think Cecil has the capability of doing anything about it anyway, so, you know, we're just listening to him and being amused by what he comes out with. That's all it is. That's all it'll ever be.
Leave me alone, because if I can get a hold of somebody that's harassing me, I don't have a problem with dragging them to court. I really don't. If I can actually sue somebody for slander, I'm going to.
You can't call it slander when things are facts. And very often the people he attacks with this kind of threat are people that he was already slandered. Like myself. Very amusing indeed. This guy is Cecil Cyrex 2.0. That's the best way I can explain this. Cecil Cyrex.
The problem is with 90% of my haters is they're either many states away with different laws, or they're in a whole nother country, and that's why I haven't been able to really do anything to them.
He can't do anything with them. For the simple reason is they speak the truth, and you don't. That's the big difference. Could you imagine Cecil going to court? Oh, I'm bringing this guy to court today because he called me a chomo. And then the other guy comes up and there's the evidence, Your Honour. And the judge will look at it and go, oh, fuck. Mr. Seelove, did you say these things? No, Your Honour, the video was edited. Okay, we will send this over to the forensic lab for analysis and we will adjourn till such and such a date. That's what will happen. And the forensic lab will know that the video wasn't edited, Cecil. You plum.
Legally. To get justice for me. My justice. For me being victimized and harassed on YouTube.
This fucks me off no end. Cecil calls himself a victim all the time. He plays the victim all the time. Yet he mocks victims. That really, really fucks me off. And it drives me to just keep going after this guy. You know, for these people that can't stand up for themselves. And that's the drive for most of these people. The way he mocks victims, he's a fucking sick fuck. I'm sorry. I'm really angry.
You know, fucking, I don't get it. I don't get it. At this point, I think it's fucking comical, the type of people that they try to use as weapons against me. Anywhere that I put this circle on this map.
Cecil, I don't know why you're bringing up this map. It's got nothing to do with any of this. What are you... This is fucking insane. The guy he's not a convicted cheese pizza. So why are you bringing up this fucking map? It's fucking crazy, like.
There's like hundreds of fucking chomos.
And he's not on the map.
And this is just one county and one little city and one little state. One little part of a state. And I'm sure one of these dudes are trying to have a YouTube channel. Why don't you see? At the end of the day, they're not advocates against child molesters, dude. Anything they can find to say bad against you, that's just what it is.
Oh, I'm so dumb. The penny's dropped. Guys, we should be going after these people on this map, and we should leave Cecil alone because he's innocent. Cecil, you're fucking whack. You are flipping crazy, dude.
That's what they're gonna say. You know, it ain't about children to them. It's about YouTube clout. It's about how many people like me or don't like me. It's about how many plays I get versus them.
Cecil is the only one that's talking about clout and plays in this situation. Nobody else is. You know? Nobody flipping is. This is not YouTube friendly entertainment that is going to get anyone famous. It simply isn't. And as well as that, Cecil, your foul mouth will get people demonetized. You can't get famous off this alone. It just doesn't happen. You know, what is views going to do? You know, we're just putting out a message. We're going to keep people informed about what you do and what you say. That's the main goal. It's not about getting plays and subscribers on YouTube. That doesn't mean a damn shit in this case. It does to you, but it doesn't to us. You know? But you've got a channel full of hate watchers.
That's what it's all about. It ain't about keeping children safe or anything to these people. It's not, because they don't go after actual choke modes, dude.
And this guy has put out a number, countless pieces of evidence that he does and has done some really dodgy stuff. That's the way I'm going to just put it. And I'm going to leave it at that, basically. But Cecil is playing the victim here again, basically.
They don't go after actual sick-ass, low-life choke modes.
By the drops in the bath, the water drops. Let us remind ourselves that Cecil's in the bath talking about this. That mental picture will not leave my mind for months. And I'm probably going to be permanently scarred by this. Jesus Christ.
Look, you see this map? This is how easy they can find any given chomo in their area at any given moment.
Basically, we're supposed to leave leave Cecil alone and go after these people. That's basically what he's doing. It's a diversion. Look, I'm innocent. Go after these people. Look at all these people. Here's some. It's like he's throwing out bait, you know, so that we will go after them and leave him alone. It's not going to happen, Cecil. Sorry.
Every county that I typed in on this registry showed me a map of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of actual chomos.
I can think of a number of things to look up on the internet. This isn't one of them. Cecil, you have very strange hobbies, I have to say.
And every one of them shows their address, their charges, their face, everything.
Oh well, Cecil, it's an opportunity to make new friends. Let's put it that way.
Every house that you click on, a picture and a name and charges of each individual registered child molester and rapist or whatever got them on the registry, it tells you right there.
Cecil, can I ask you this while you're sitting in your bath? Have you eaten the soap? Because you're talking crazy right now. This is fucking insane.
So, I just don't understand why you guys are acting like that you're advocates for child abuse, but you're not really going after people who actually do abuse children.
Is this all you can come up to claim your innocence? It's a very poor argument, Cecil. It's really bad. You haven't come up with any good arguments in the last number of years. This is the best you can come up with. Oh, Cecil, you're in trouble.
That's the part I don't get. That's the part that I don't understand. You know, hey Gordon, you claim that you stand up against child abuse because you done made yourself believe, because you're mentally ill, you made yourself believe that I was a bad guy, which I'm not. I'm totally innocent.
Cecil, I would not like to be representing you in court, because I know for a fact I wouldn't win. It can't happen. There's no flipping lawyer in your country that is going to win a case with the stuff that's piled up against you. It's mathematically impossible, Cecil.
Gordon, if you're such a good guy, don't you think it's a bad thing to be putting sleeping pills in your female co-workers' drinks at work while they're not looking?
If this is true, it's really fucked up. But let's remind ourselves, it's Cecil that's saying this, and he got his facts from other people. And Cecil's not very good at carrying information. He's not good at all.
Don't you think that that's a bad person? Isn't that something bad people do to people?
Right, let's assume that this is true, right? This doesn't help Cecil's argument. It doesn't make him not guilty of his things. Things don't work that way. It really don't. So I don't know why he's bringing up this argument. But it is Cecil after all.
Do you know what date rape is called?
If you have a basin or a bucket, you may want to put it in front of you right now, as Cecil goes into bath-time story time, and this is kind of fucked up. It really is.
Date rape is when a girl goes out either with her friends or alone, and she's underage high schooler or a grown woman of age with someone on a blind date or not even on a date at all. And that said kid or said grown-up goes out to where they're going to party at, whether there's alcohol or not, and the beverages are being spiked with sleeping pills so the men can take advantage of the female.
Why is he talking to us like we're stupid right now? And what has this got to do with anything? I'm fucking lost, Cecil. Cecil, what are you doing? And why are we talking about this in the bath? This is very disturbing, Cecil. I'm going to throw up in my basin. This isn't good. Stop eating the soap. Please.
And they can blame it on, oh, you were just too drunk and we went home and slept together. And just blame it on the alcohol. That is a scheming, disgusting way for rapists to sneak into the panties of people that they desire. It's a crime. Lawfully so, it's a crime. And people should be punished for it.
I'm really confused. Is this guy trying to fight his argument with this? Because it doesn't work. It might work in Cecil's head, but this isn't making any fucking sense. It really fucking isn't, Ty.
If it was up to me, the law would be that we castrate and kill all child molesters. That's basically my opinion on what should happen to all chomos. Me knowing that I'm not a chomo, I can confidently say that on YouTube.
Objection, Your Honor. This is a stupid argument. It's nonsense.
Regardless of what my haters think. So your guys' case against me is that years ago when I moved in here, I went on YouTube to make a video, and I was talking about some shit from when I was an underage boy. Some crazy stories from my fucked up childhood. That's your case?
Yes.
That's your evidence?
Yeah? And it came from your mouth. It was so simple. You said it. There was no need to do any digging or anything like that. You flipping said it. And now you're trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube. It doesn't work like that, Cecil. It really doesn't.
And Gordon, I don't care if you hate on me or not, dude. I never liked you anyways. I always thought you were a weirdo anyways. And you know what? I'm usually a pretty good judge of character.
Oh, give me a second. Right, hold on a second. Think sad thoughts. Cecil says that Cyrix is a good guy that's trying to do good things. And then he finds out that Cyrix isn't so good. Then there was this Tammy person who he gave her his daughter's phone number. And we all know how that turned out. And Cecil, you're not a very good judge of character, are you? The history isn't very good, really. Oh, my God. Oh, Cecil, some of the stuff that you come out with is flipping crazy. Like, gee.
You would literally sit in the camera room and stare at me from the camera room, not saying a word. And you said, just sometimes you just don't want to talk.
Okay, continue.
Sometimes you just like to spend alone time with yourself. I thought that shit was weird, dude.
And you're spending alone time in the bath and talking to the internet about cheese pizza. And that's not weird. I don't know what to say there. I really don't.
Just by your demeanor. Dude, it's just me and you in that room. Like, it ain't like there's a bunch of people in your face giving you awkward social issues. It's me and you, bro. Why gotta act weird just because it's only me and you in the room? I think you were sitting in there plotting on somebody you had a crush on.
Here we go. Cecil is thinking. And when Cecil is thinking, things don't go so good.
I'm trying to plot on how you can sneak in their panties without them knowing.
Cecil, this is you thinking. This is all speculation. This is all coming from your fucking head. This is all possibly made up. Because you're thinking. And we all know when you start thinking, really weird things start coming out. Cecil, have you drank the shampoo as well? Because you're talking really flippin' strange right now. This is like a fucking horror film. It's like I've delved into the fucking guts of the dark web. This is fucking weird. And the water drops don't help. It's creepy, dude.
That's just my opinion.
Objection, Your Honor. Opinions are not facts.
I don't know you from anywhere.
So why are you talking about them then?
Well, what I do know is your ass got fired for spiking female co-workers' attorneys, bro.
If that is true, that is fucked up. But, again, it's coming from Cecil's mouth. And Cecil isn't very reliable. And he's a liar. Need presentation of facts to the court, please. No allegations, no assumptions, no opinions. We only deal with facts here.
No, you cannot get me in trouble for showing that registry map. That is no different than a fucking Google map. I'm not showing anybody's information. I'm not showing anybody's address or telling anyone who is. That's just me showing an example of how easy it is to find registered offenders in your area.
Which has got nothing to do with any of this.
So no, I cannot get in trouble for showing that map.
And that makes it okay. Because Cecil hasn't got her moral compass at all.
I just can't believe you guys are so confident in what you believe about me that you're willing to announce that you got my sister going to be on a video with her face blurred out before you actually even talk to my sister. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know very much about this bit, so I can't really comment on it.
Weirdo? Fucking weird. Fuck out of here, dude. Are you that confident? That's how you know somebody's a new troll. Because the new trolls don't realize that the old trolls that won't leave me alone, they've already tried all that shit.
And we're very successful, but Cecil doesn't realize that.
They all claim that they already talked to my sister. You know what I mean? They all already claim that they've already talked to her. Guess what? They didn't. Because I proved that it was a fake Rosie account, dude. They literally made a fake account of my sister after stalking her on YouTube, on Facebook, and then started writing messages to themselves, acting like they were her. I don't know about you guys, but as far as I've ever known, if someone was a child molester or a sex offender of any kind, trust me, you wouldn't have to go far to get the truth.
And that was very true in your case.
And you wouldn't have to work so hard to try to get evidence. Trust me, the shit would be right there in your face instantly.
And you were a prime example of that.
And that's the part that makes me mad. I gave these guys 7 fearless years to prove it.
And the mission was accomplished.
And they've been doing the same thing for 7 years. Obsessively.
No, you've been doing the same thing for 7 years. Constantly.
And for Gordon to tell my sister, oh, we're driving ourselves crazy. Can you help us? We're driving ourselves crazy trying to prove it. Gordon, they've been saying it for 7 years on YouTube, bro. They've been doing the same thing that you tried fucking years ago, bro.
And the only people that deemed it an unsuccess is you and a couple of your die-hard followers.
I mean, are you listening when I talk about this?
All the lies? Yes, we have.
Yes, you don't. I guess you just watched the manipulating video that they have.
That was words from your mouth and hasn't been edited in any way.
That they're legally not even supposed to have on YouTube.
It's actually not your video anymore.
Guys, they're not allowed to take my videos and portray me any way they want.
We haven't done that. You done that. It was all you. We didn't have to do any work. You done it all for us.
That's defamation, bro. Every time I've reported a fake confession video showing me and my voice on YouTube, I've always successfully got their asses a strike.
I asked you to prove to me that the video was edited. I wanted you to prove my evidence wrong when I analysed the audio. And you said you don't have to prove anything to me. That proves that you have nothing to put on the table, Cecil. We've asked you umpteen fucking times. You won't do it because you fucking can't. You can't. You've got nothing to bring to the table. It's game over. You're done.
And they were told not to put the video back up. So you know what they do? They create a whole new email and they upload it to a whole new channel. That's how these trolls get around getting in trouble, dude.
Blah, blah, blah. Stop deflecting and prove us wrong. You've never made any attempt to prove us wrong. All you've ever come out with, I don't have to prove anything to you, hater trolls and haters of Steve Hope, and then go into personal insults. Why don't you put more emphasis into proving your innocence than fucking going after people and mocking their personal appearance and being personal like that and being an insulting prick?
They literally act like criminals and go undercover and shit. And use fucking throwaway accounts and shit. See, that's why there's nobody that's safe on the internet. It ain't because of me, it's because of people like them.
No, Cece, you got that the wrong way around. People don't like people like you.
That's why ain't nobody safe on YouTube. Because they don't have a problem with spending all day long trying to demonize you, bro. They don't have a problem with spending their whole fucking day thinking about you every single day for years and years. What people fail to realize is, the reason why we have trolls on YouTube is because everybody's allowed to be a YouTuber. Everybody's on here, including mentally disturbed individuals.
Yes, well, that is actually true. Yeah, we've got these people that come online and tell everybody that they have molested children, and then you got supporters of that person. I think it's fucking sick, to be honest with you.
It's just sad. It's sad, bro.
Yeah, it is actually sad. It's very sad.
And I guarantee you, at least 70% of the people saying this shit about me
is A, very nice people, B, very bad people, C, cheese pizzas or possible cheese pizzas. Please make your choice now.
More likely than not, they have skeletons in their closet in which they either violated a child or a woman or a little boy of some sort. I guarantee you, dude.
If your answer was C, you are correct.
How many people that troll me do you think is actually guilty?
The deflection tactic makes you look very, very guilty right now. You didn't think of that one, did you? You don't think anyway.
Of what they're saying about me. I mean, they're really guilty, like.
In your opinion, which means jack shit. Because you proved yourself to be a serial liar. Case closed, Your Honor.
They probably threaten their victims not to say anything or something like that.
Objection, Your Honor, probably is not facts.
Or they're probably still victimizing that person today.
Objection, Your Honor, probably is not facts. Cecil, you're not very good at facts, really, are you?
And threatening their lives to keep hush. I can almost guarantee it.
No, you can't guarantee anything because you do not deal with facts. This is a fact. You are a serial liar. That is 100% a fact. Cecil, you're not very good at this, are you? We deal with facts in the real world. Not assumptions, not maybes, not probabilities. Those mean jack shit. Facts mean things. You would have learned that at school. Assumptions mean nothing. Probably means nothing. I almost guarantee means absolutely nothing. What you say means absolutely nothing. So please stop talking shit.
I wouldn't doubt it at all, whatsoever.
Cecil, please sit down and be quiet. Please.
Just look at the people that are harassing me.
It's personal insult time.
They all look like fucking white van driving chomos, bro.
Let us remember that this guy at one point wanted to be a cop. If this guy did become a cop, the area that he worked in, everybody would have to build their own house. Because everybody that drove a white van would be in jail. Cecil, you're fucking dumb.
And then I stopped saying their names for the most part, except for Gordon right now, because he's cloud chasing right now. He's trying to get his plays up, trying to get his channel off the ground. Like, dude, you said your wife is nuts?
As Random News says, if you got the good shit, spark one up now, folks, because this is going to be golden.
Well, that's because nutty people attract nutty people. You said your ex is like psycho? Well, that's because she probably knew you were psycho. That's why she dated you in the first place. But then she realized that she was crazier than you are, so she decided to leave your ass.
There you go, a lesson on logic with Cecil. It's fucking amazing.
Just goes to show the character of these people. You literally told my sister that you're not showing your face because your baby mama or your ex-girlfriend or whatever you said is nuts. Well, it just goes to show how desperate you are to be with the certain type of people you choose to be with, bro.
Cecil's coming out with his skills as a psychologist right now, which I think is very, very intriguing. Oh, come on. We should call you down. We should call you Dr. Cecil. Oh.
A man is no different than the woman he's with. It's supposed to be your other half, right?
Cecil, are you under the influence of something? Because that's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard, like.
Oh, no.
That's the truest thing you've said so far. I don't know.
I'm going to try to leave it alone and never speak of you again, Gordon. This is my last video about you.
And that's total bollocks.
Now, if you force me to make videos, that's one thing. But I don't have no plans on saying another thing about you, bro.
Let's remind ourselves that Cecil is a serial liar.
But don't throw stones when you have a pocket full of rocks, bro.
Try again, Cecil.
You can't throw stones at somebody when you live in a stone house, bro.
It's people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. You stupid fuck.
You know what I mean.
It wasn't that difficult, Cecil.
The audacity of the actual fucking ex-co-worker.
Cecil has a habit of changing subjects very, very quickly. It's like a fucking 90-degree turn. All of a sudden he's talking about something else.
Had the audacity to show his name and face. Wow. Dude, everybody knows what you did at the security place.
Again, if it's true, it's really fucked up. But let us remind ourselves that we are getting this information from Cecil, who is a serial liar and completely twists information that he gets because he can't keep it straight in his head. Just saying.
Everybody, even ex-co-workers, even people who no longer work there anymore, obviously. I mean, look, I knew. Did you think I didn't know? You know, there are some good people that work there, and there are some good people who used to work there that are still cool with me in my life, that told me what happened.
And at the beginning of the video, you said you knew this for a fact. And then further down the video, you said you got the information from 5 other people. Cecil, you're not very reliable, are you? Now, don't get me wrong, if this guy done these things, it is really messed up. But I'm going to repeat myself. We're getting the information from Cecil here, who is an encyclopedia of lies and bullshit.
Fucking putting fucking pills in people's drinks, dude? Wow. That's some fucking disturbing ass shit, y'all.
So is messing with an 8 and a 10-year-old while you were babysitting them. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry, but that's some fucking weirdo creeper shit, dude. I hope you get the help you need.
I do agree. Molesting an 8 and a 10-year-old is really fucked up shit, and I hope you get the help you need.
Bro, I really do. And hopefully the people that you have in your life are safe around you. Hopefully you're not going to harm anybody. Hopefully. Pray to God that you don't hurt nobody.
You see, I know about this tactic. If somebody is guilty of something, what they sometimes do is they find something else and they make it out that this person done a worse thing than I did. So, what I did isn't so bad. I know it. This is exactly a prime example of that. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like.
I'm literally going to say a prayer tonight to all the people who has to live around you or be around you or be associated with you, because that's fucking disturbing, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a prime example of a tactic called pulling the God card. I am a good person, and I am going to pray for you. It doesn't work with me.
And I can prove what I said, too. I can prove that ex-co-workers told me it, and I'm not going to put their names out there, but I guarantee you I can get an interview.
Well, wouldn't it be better to get the full facts straight before you started opening your mouth? Now, don't get me wrong, this man could be bad. It could be very, very bad. But you giving us second-hand information isn't really helpful, Cecil. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You've got a history of being a complete and utter serial liar to make yourself look good. And this is what it looks like you're doing. You're using this guy to make yourself look less guilty and less bad. That's what it looks like from here. I didn't come down on the last shower, Cecil.
Of an ex-co-worker that you'll probably recognize their voice when you hear it.
What's to say that they're not just as big a liar as you are? Cecil, this is falling apart at the seams.
But keep them anonymous, because there's no telling what you would do with your disturbed ass brain.
You are what we call an unreliable witness, and I base that off your history and facts. Again, we're not exactly dealing with facts here. We're dealing with Cecil going off a story that he heard from somebody else, like he usually does.
And because you showed me your face and told me who you were, knowing how disturbed you are, my fucking security level has went to red, bro.
What he means by that is he's going to take Hetty the machete from out behind the fridge.
So I'm gonna let y'all know right now. If anything happens to me, my wife or my kid, or anyone around me, or my house, or my car, or anything, it was done by B-E-A-U, Bayou, I guess her name is, Bo. His name's Bo. Now I remember him, Bo. That's what we called him, Bo. It was done by Bo Michael Gordon.
That's not how facts and evidence work, Cecil. Cecil is in the process of doxing this guy.
That's who did it. Now, I'm not giving no addresses.
You just did. Well, some of it anyway.
He's the one that told my sister he lived in fucking... Now, thanks to you, Bo, now I know who was following me around to my jobs and shit.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Cecil knew for a fact who was following him around before. Now he's changing it over to this guy. This guy is completely and utterly unreliable, and you should not believe a word he says most of the fucking time. Cecil, are you going to issue an apology to these other people that you have accused of following you around? Because that's what you should do, but you're not going to do it. I know for a fact you won't. Every single story you tell has got more holes than a tea bag.
Yeah, thanks for showing your face, dumbass.
So Cecil can now verbally insult you and call you an ugly, fat B-word.
You just had to let everybody know who you were, huh? You know, when I call y'all out, call y'all cowards for not showing your name and face, I do that for a reason.
Because you want people to show their face and be on camera so you can personally insult them.
I'm trying to pull you out. I'm trying to get you to expose yourself so, you know, you can incriminate yourself for the crimes that you're committing against me.
And then Cecil turns out to be a hero and everybody will forget all the shit that he has done. And they lived happily ever after. Cecil, that's not how it works.
But your ego just can't... You just have to say who you are, huh?
This is the guy that has a bitch fit when somebody comes into his chat with a YouTube channel name that isn't their own real name.
Now, Bo, I'm gonna let you know this before I get off of here. And I decide to try to ignore you. Hopefully I live the rest of my life out in peace and I'm not in danger or anything.
If you put yourself in danger, it's most likely of your own doing, Cecil. That's why you're running around in your kitchen with 2 guns strapped to you. That is nobody else's fault, only yours.
You showed yourself doxing me, which is illegal, and showed yourself going to my relatives, which is harassment, with your name and your account, and then your face. You incriminated yourself.
Don't know much about that, but I am going to take that with a pinch of salt.
Showing the whole world that you're harassing me in the name of slander and defamation. I don't know why you wanted to be a part of this so bad.
Okay, this is the guy who is protesting his innocence for the last 7 years, and we're all the illegal people. We're all doing things wrong. Red flag. Let's just say red flag here. I'm starting to come to the impression that this guy has something on Cecil, and Cecil is in a panic mode right now. I know the penny is Well, the penny hasn't just dropped. I was trying to put bits and pieces together. This guy knows something about Cecil. I'm not going to say that's a guarantee. I'm not going to say that's a complete and utter fact. But judging by Cecil's state of panic at this moment in time, something is about to go down. That's what I think.
But regardless of what people make themselves believe, I am actually innocent. And I actually have a case against these people.
You bring this case to court, you will make a fool of yourself. Because the evidence is damning, Cecil. It is a solid concrete. There's no way out of this, Cecil. 100%. You're screwed, my friend. You can't do that because you are going to make a fool of yourself in court. And there's no lawyer in your country that will get you out of this. There's no way. And it's in your, you're dreaming, Cecil. It's a complete and utter fantasy. That's all it is. So stop talking shite.
Not an active case, but I'm saying I have a winning case.
Absolutely don't. You're a complete and utter liar. And we would have multiple cases of slander against you, and we would win every single one of them, Cecil. That's a guarantee. That is a 100%. There's no doubt about it, because you've slandered multiple people. You have verbally abused umpteen people. You have documented it on your YouTube channel. You have deleted multiple videos, but most of it is already recorded, Cecil. The evidence is already gathered. You're fucked. You are so fucking screwed. If you had brought a case against somebody, they would have to explain the whole background to all of this. They would most likely win. And while you are walking out of the courtroom, 2 police officers will come over and arrest you. That's what most likely would happen.
I have all the evidence that I need, not only to send people to federal prison for what they've done to me, but I got evidence that can prosecute people, dude, like, literally.
Stop talking shite, Cecil. You're just talking nonsense now.
If I really pushed it, if someone pushed me so hard to where I had no choice but to do something about it, I would put every bit of my energy to legally go after everybody that's illegally harassing me.
You called multiple people P-words. You documented them in a video. If those people, including myself, took you to court, you would cry like a little bitch and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." So shut the fuck up and stop talking shite.
I really would. Not only would I press charges and show actual physical proof, but I would also sue you.
I'm listening to the rest of this for entertaining purposes only. Because that's all it's worth, really. Cecil, do you know what a class action lawsuit is? Look it up. Because you might be very familiar with that pretty soon.
You see, you don't have to pay a high-paid lawyer to get an expungement. Trust me, I literally had a public fucking defender who told me that I did all the work.
Let's give Cecil a round of applause, folks. Well done, Cecil. Good work. Well done.
Okay, you don't need a high-profile, high-paid lawyer to sue somebody either. Trust me.
This just reminds me of Cyrix's famous saying. Trust me when I say this, man.
There's people who's won cases by defending themselves. And you can petition the court to see a judge.
Yeah, Cecil, you should represent yourself. It should go very, very well, judging you by your past history on YouTube. Yeah, so you go, you do it, man, you can do it. Well done, Cecil. You show them. Fucking hell. Oh, for fuck's sake. Cecil, with what you've got, you couldn't win a nutcase. And that's being honest with you.
Yourself. You don't need a lawyer for that. There's a reason why there is a circuit clerk. It's so you can see a judge for whatever reason.
And you would go in there and you would end up with a charge of wasting the court's time. That's what would happen, Cecil. We're in the real world here, Cecil. Not in your fantasy world far, far away in your head.
So after 7 years and me just wanting to ignore you people and you guys wanting to get me to react to what you're saying and what you're doing, I would literally, seriously recommend people to just leave me alone, dude.
Cecil, it's not that easy. But if you start telling the truth and undoing all the lies that you've told, we'll see what we can do for you. How's that?
You guys have harassed me enough. You got me fired from jobs.
Well, as far as that security job, you were on YouTube with the security uniform and shaking guns around and talking shit. You got yourself fired from that job. So don't blame anybody else. It was your fault. It's time to take responsibility, Cecil. You're 42 years old.
You guys have done enough damage. Like, at this point, you're only doing it because you think it's comical.
I'll be 100% honest. Besides the really serious part of it, some of it's funny. I'm not going to lie. Unlike you, Cecil.
And it kills your boredom, which is sad. To harass somebody just because you're bored and you don't have a life.
No, Cecil, there's a serious side of all of this, and the serious side has never been addressed. It's just lie after lie after lie. Tell the truth. People will leave you alone. In the beginning, if you kept your gob shut, you wouldn't be in this situation right now, would you? But you talk before you think. That's what got you into trouble, your loose tongue. But Cecil, you're 42 years old. It's time to take responsibility for your actions. Do you know? It's time to change, you know? Turn over a new leaf. You know? A fresh look at life. Where all the things of the past have been sort of sorted out and dealt with, instead of just a wave of lies. And Cecil, nobody believes a word you say. We know you at this point. Do you know? Some of these people have known you for 7 years. Do you know? I've only known you a couple of years, but Cecil, your history is very, very bad. Your history of lying and manipulation, and you're not very good at it either, like. You're really shit at lying.
Multiple of you guys make excuses for your actions against me, an innocent person. Multiple of you people.
Cecil, if you think you're innocent, you are a picnic without the sandwiches or the drinks. Just the basket, like. Cecil, stop kidding yourself.
Deep down inside, every one of y'all know I'm innocent. Every one of you.
Cecil, stop talking shit. There's two people that believe you. Everybody else knows you're full of shit. So stop kidding yourself and stop saying that deep down inside we believe you're innocent. Cecil, the fucking evidence is right in front of your nose. Only two people are stupid enough to fucking believe you. Two. That is it. So get over yourself. Stop living in this fantasy world, Cecil.
But it became fun to harass me. And it's sad that after 7 years of being illegally harassed and stalked and threatened and doxxed and all that crazy shit, me, my wife and kid, that now it's becoming trendy to commit crimes against me.
The only person committing the crimes is you, as far as I can see.
Just because I've never really pushed to legally do anything about it yet.
You can't do anything legally about it, Cecil, because you haven't a leg to stand on. And if you do try to do anything about it, you're going to have to expose your whole past in front of the whole court. You're kind of caught in a catch-22 situation. And it was all your own doing.
You know, people shouldn't have to worry about having to send people to court for harassment. People should be able to be on YouTube.
Yeah, people should be able to go on YouTube and confess all their crimes, and nobody should have the right to call them out on it, Cecil. Is that the way it goes?
In peace and left alone. People should be able to tell their stories without being ridiculed, threatened, and harassed, and their families and their jobs called and being followed around.
So when you confess to doing things with an 8 and a 10-year-old, we should be all fine with that. Oh, Cecil, that was in the past. You know, you don't have any remorse for that. You're not sorry. You just came up with excuses. You came up with loads of lies. You tried to put the toothpaste back in the tube. And you blame us for it. We're not at fault here, Cecil. You're at fault. But you won't take responsibility.
Then y'all call me paranoid schizophrenic. It's not true.
Whoa. I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm not going to diagnose you. Unlike you, who diagnosed us as mentally ill. I'm not going to diagnose you as paranoid schizophrenic, but you seem to have you seem to be a doctor, and you can diagnose everybody else as mentally ill. I don't know.
You guys literally have bragged about following me to my jobs to find out where I work so you can try to get me fired. Every bit of that is a crime, especially in Kentucky.
You focus in on all of these things to divert people away from the things that you've done, which are very, very fucked up.
So, for all of y'all out there doing it, just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Suddenly he's gone. Very often when Cecil talks, he's not addressing his followers. So he actually has no respect for his followers. He half the time doesn't read the chat, and he doesn't say goodbye to them. He just goes off camera and that. 9 times out of 10, he's addressing the people that are calling him out, and not his followers, which is usually 2 or 3. That's about it. But that was a wild ride. He done all this most of the time in the bath. And the subject matter, while in the bath, it just added to the creep factor. Cecil can't sit down and sort of, right, I've got all these things to deal with. Let's write these things down and address everybody and have something constructive to give to us. But he can't do that. He just talks off the cuff. And every time he does that, he makes himself out to be worse every time he talks. And that's just the way Cecil is, you know? But his YouTube channel is it's basically it's at the bottom of the ocean. There's no way of recovering that, because he's got a 1.71 thousand subscribers, and I think most of them have subscribed to get a notification for when he comes on, and they don't really support him. They just want to see what kind of crazy stuff's going to come out next. This has been one of the more crazier ones, you know? You just don't know when Cecil comes on how bad it's going to be. Okay, just when I was about to finish up, we have a counter act. Right, just when I was about to finish up, this is really interesting actually. There has been a counter response from the other party, the person that Cecil has been talking about, and what he's going to say in this video has backed up what I just said about Cecil, that he's a serial liar, he does not get his information from the right places, and he makes shit up. So we're going to go through this guy's audio, and yeah, this is really really damaging for Cecil. I knew Cecil was in a panic mode. I knew there was something up here, and there was a video. I just couldn't find it. I've got it. We have it. Right, let's go. Let's do this.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, B-Love.
I'll leave a link in the description. He started the video with a gun in his trousers and showing it off to the camera, sort of mimicking what Cecil does on a regular basis. Like, Cecil's flipping crazy, like. Cecil is strapped up with 2 guns in his house, and before he starts talking, he starts doing the twirl and he's showing off his gun. He's fucking crazy, dude.
I hope you're all having a good day. I know I sure am trying. But, you know what? This fuck-ass Cecil, he's real stupid.
That just backed up what I said earlier on, actually. Bingo!
You know? You see, hold on a second. I need to close this door. I don't want to get yelled at. I'm not supposed to be streaming. Anyway. So, Cecil, you come online slandering my name, okay, saying that I was putting roofies or some kind of drug or poison in female co-workers' drinks. Well, if you must know, it wasn't any kind of drugs or anything in females' drinks that I was supposedly doing. What it was the old man, I believe his name is Pat Dunn, something like that, called the hotline on me, saying that he feels like he's been poisoned with eye drops, and he accused me.
Proving that Cecil does not check his sources. I said this earlier on. Cecil, you're dumb. You're so stupid.
And I was at least the third person he had accused. There was also some Puerto Rican or like mixed dude. And there was Audrey. You remember Audrey? He snitched on both of them about being lazy and started accusing both of them of poisoning him first. Anyway, yeah, you're too stupid though. You wouldn't come to me first, would you? You're going to listen to a bunch of rumors, come online and slander me?
To be fair, Cecil, as I said earlier on, Cecil talks before he thinks. And if he gets a rumor, he will run with it, and he will broadcast it to the world, even if it is true or not. But if it's his enemy, he doesn't care what he says. You know, he will say, oh, well, these people said this about me. I have no problem saying this about them. And this is what's getting him into trouble right now.
You know, that's a federal crime, right? I might have to go to the police station and submit this.
If I was him, I would absolutely do that. 100%. He can't get away with this. This isn't right.
Anyway, Cecil, I'm not a rapist. You know who is a rapist, who has said multiple times that they're a rapist, and has even told me in person, in the office at work, that they're a rapist. It was you, okay?
Oh, it looks like Cecil's poked the wrong bear here. Oh, this is trouble for Cecil, I think.
Now, I'm getting really sick of people coming online saying that I'm a rapist, okay? When there's no evidence against me. You don't have anything. You have a bunch of hearsay from the office? Yeah, that's not evidence. If you should ask anybody, you should ask the boss, not the rumor mill. But, on the other hand, how many years of footage do we have of you just willingly giving up information about all these crimes you've committed?
Yeah, there's years of evidence of crimes documented on his YouTube channel, and he's too stupid to realize that he's putting it all out there. You have to be crazy to do something like that.
Doing sexual things with an 8 and 10-year-old for years? Having your so-called cousin's child come up and try and touch your dick? Those are all things that came out of your mouth. Okay?
Exactly.
You're so stupid. You know, don't throw stones when you got a pocket full of rocks, Cecil, okay? I mean, look at you. You're 5 foot nothing, 80 pounds, probably got fetal alcohol syndrome, judging by the looks of you.
Oh, shots fired. This guy is pissed. This guy is so fucking angry. And rightly so.
Was your mom addicted to something when she was pregnant with you? Was she drinking while pregnant with you? That's pretty fucked up.
Oh, I don't go down this route, but Cecil has personally insulted me before, so I've got no problem. This guy wants to give this guy double barrels. Go right ahead, because he's already done it to this guy, so.
If you must know, not am I only a victim of slander. I am also a victim of sexual assault, okay?
Right, what this guy went through is very horrific. And I'm not comfortable sharing that on this video, but I will leave a link in the description to the guy's video, and I suggest you go over and watch it there. But you know, it's not that I don't want to share what he went through, but it's so personal that I don't feel comfortable sharing it, if you can understand where I'm coming from. So I'll leave a link in the description for that.
And I was going through some things at the time when I got fired from that job. I was going through some emotional things because it was fresh. I went through some serious emotional things for a long time. It took me like a year to get over it, okay? So when I got fired, it was because I was in an emotional, just a mental episode as a result from that.
Cecil accuses this guy of clout chasing. This is not clout chasing. What he just explained, that I cut out of the video, you can watch it for yourself, is horrific. This is nothing to do with clout chasing. This is a guy telling his story, and this is a guy telling his side of the story. It's horrific.
What I got fired from Securitas from was that Pat Dunn, or whatever his name is, okay, Cecil, called the hotline after accusing 2 other people of poisoning him and said that I tried to poison him and that I came in saying I was going to kill people.
Jesus. This is crazy, Mark.
Which just isn't true. What actually happened was I came in and I told him I felt like I shouldn't be in public because they're sending me down to the guard shack where the truckers can be assholes and start going off because they're impatient and shit. I didn't think that would be a good idea.
If you're in a vulnerable state, that's completely understandable, Mark.
I didn't want to get in any kind of verbal altercations with people because I was already to the breaking point.
Yeah, and I understand what you went through and what that can do to you mentally and emotionally, and that, that's completely understandable. Cecil, you're so fucking stupid. You are so fucking dumb.
I'm a victim. That's what happened.
This must be very, very difficult for this guy to come out with a statement like this, and he probably didn't want to. And Cecil has forced him to do this because Cecil has attacked him, and this guy, had to fight his case by coming online and making a video about it. He's probably not that happy about it, And of course it's all down to Cecil and his stupid mouth. This makes me so fucking angry, This is fucking terrible,
And for you to go running to the rumor mill to get information about me, and then not only that, you come online, you slander me, you say my full name, you give the area I live in, okay, and then you start going around telling everybody that I slip pills in female coworkers' drinks, which isn't true. The person accusing me was an old man. He was accusing me of trying to poison him.
This is a prime example of Cecil information gathering. It's often from an unreliable source, And then when he gets the information, it kind of swirls around in his head, and he's liable to come out making shit up. You know, I seen earlier on that Cecil did dox this guy, and I took his address out of the audio clip because it's only right. Cecil's had no right to do this. Do you know? Cecil's in panic mode. When he's in panic mode and he's caught in a corner, he's fucking dangerous. And he doesn't care about moral boundaries or anything like that. He will say whatever he wants. He doesn't think of consequences and stuff, but now there is going to be consequences for this, I think. And I hope.
The funny thing is, though, Cecil, I have evidence against you. I have evidence against you of multiple crimes, Cecil. So, why don't we look at what this evidence is?
Oh, goddamn. Cecil told this guy everything. Every single thing. Because Cecil can't keep anything to himself. That's why he spread it all over the internet. Oh, this is getting messy, it really is.
First off, we have the Cecil file. This is just from the past couple of days. So, what you're looking at here is Cecil threatening me.
Yeah, and he done it on his videos. That's confirmed.
He's threatening to send his gangster family after me. We have Cecil slandering me.
Yes, Cecil slanders everybody that has anything to bait him over. And that's a given.
We have Cecil doxing me.
That's confirmed as well, and it's documented on a live stream.
We have Cecil doxing me again, and we have Cecil assassinating my character.
That was also documented in the live stream as well. So that's true too.
Those are all crimes, according to you and according to the law. You're unlawfully saying and doing things that put me at jeopardy.
Yes, that would actually put your safety in danger. I agree with you there.
You're putting my information out there in YouTube videos, which is also against YouTube content policy. But guess what? It's too late. I have recordings of you doing this, okay?
If I was in this guy's situation, I would keep those recordings safe for further reference in case this gets any worse. Because Cecil's he hasn't got the brain power to back off. He's going to go all hell blazing, possibly. So I would keep those recordings very, very safe.
What else do we got, though? Well, looky who we got here. Does that say...
Being blocked out for legal reasons.
Is this your sister? Covington, Kentucky. Let's see here. Wow. Seems like she posts pretty regularly. Is this your sister?
What's about to come up is very damning.
Oh, look, Teresa. Well, would you looky here? This seems to be your sister's actual Facebook page.
I have to be honest here, I wouldn't have posted the sister's Facebook page on a video. You know, I'm not comfortable with that, and it would only encourage people to go over and cause trouble over in the sister's page. This is about Cecil after all, you know. So I'm not 100% comfortable with this at all.
Isn't that strange? And now look at this chat log here.
It's private. It's a private chat, which I don't think should be really public in that. But it's extremely damning. It's really damaging to Cecil. It's crazy. Right, let's just continue on here.
Now we get to read the actual full messages because I can read above a first grade level, Cecil. Okay? So let's see here. It starts off, here's the top, okay? I've only contacted your sister this one time here. It was this Friday, just for accuracy's sake, Friday the 8th of September 2023, Cecil. All right. So, I said, I'm Bo Gordon. I live in the Florence area off Turfway Road. I worked with Cecil a little over a year ago, and now I'm one of his trolls. Trolls in quotation marks, which is something you glance past. You just ignore the quotation marks, which gives it a complete different meaning.
Cecil actually is a very bad reader. He's actually worse than me. So, yeah.
But you don't care because it's more convenient for you for it not to be in quotation marks, as if I just blatantly said I'm an actual troll. When I worked with him, he told me the story about how he rebelled against his parents. And I know, your dad didn't raise you. You told me he was in a motorcycle gang.
Right, if this next bit is true, it's absolutely crazy. It's really nuts.
And he would ride up to couples walking down the sidewalk, and he'd point a gun at the man and say, "This is my bitch now," and make her hop on the back of his bike. That's kind of strange. You came from that guy's ball sack.
Oh my God. Is this true? This is so crazy, it's very difficult to believe, like. But if it's true, it's fucking nuts, dude. Holy fuck. Fucking hell.
I wonder if antisocial personality disorder runs in the genes.
Most likely. The more we hear about this family, the worse it gets. It's really, really crazy.
You know, that gives you not necessarily a lack of understanding, but you don't care to do the right thing.
Yes, you'd be bang on the button with that one. And the evidence is there for itself in his YouTube channel and in his videos. So you're right there.
The line between what's right and wrong is blurred with these people. So, rebelled against his parents, in quotation marks, because that's what you said. You said it to me in person, you've said it in video multiple times.
Oh, Cecil's about to have his ass handed to him.
You did this 4 years with some girls that you were babysitting, Cecil, until your sister walked in on you one day. These are words you've said on video and to me in person.
Yeah, I know it's in the confession video, but he told him as well. Oh, Cecil. Cecil, you're so dumb. You are so stupid. As of the time of this recording, Cecil has come out with a short threatening to sue this guy. Again. Just like the live stream song, yeah. Cecil's not very happy at the moment. But he is caught in a corner. In a big way.
I'll just read verbatim from here. He says that you don't want to come on video to clear his name because you don't want to be a part of it. Here's the thing. All the, quote, trolls that are keeping an eye on him won't stop until there's either justice or his name is cleared. And here's a third option for you, Cecil.
I can't think of a third option, so I'm going to be very interested in what he has to say next.
You could also just admit that you feel regret for what you did and that you've grown as a person. Instead, you come on video every day, and you defend yourself. You victim blame.
That third option, here's the problem with that third option, right? Cecil has hardly ever said sorry in his life. If he does that now and say, right, I done this when I was young and I had a rough upbringing, but I did do horrible things and I done some things to this person, that person, I'm deeply regretful, I'm deeply sorry, and I am going to try to be a better person, and blah, 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 blah. He might do that to save his own ass. Would he be genuine about it? I have my doubts.
You attack other people. You go through the whole Darvo method. Every single video. And at any point, you could have just came on and been like, yes, I did that, and I'm deeply regretful.
Yes, that would be the reaction of a normal person, but we know the history of Cecil, and we know what he's like. And he never apologizes, because he's always right. You know, there's a pattern of behavior there that makes me think that he won't do that. And if he does do that, it's not a genuine apology. It's not a genuine regret. It's to save his ass.
I've never done it again since, and I'll never do it again. I am so sorry that I ever did that. You should go apologize to those girls.
This is the reason why we're still after Cecil, because he actually mocked the victims. He's never apologized to them. And I think an apology now may not be a genuine one. And so I don't know. I don't know how this will work out. Because we know that Cecil is a serial liar. He will do anything to save his own skin. It's a difficult one. And I know where you're coming from. I really do.
But no, you won't do that. Because you're too much of a narcissist.
Yeah, I would totally agree there for sure.
So, we don't want to keep doing this. But we won't stop because we have been cursed with the knowledge of what he, Cecil, did.
Well, when you think about it, over the last number of years, there have been a number of victims. Now, we're not talking about SA as such, but we're talking about abuse online. And most of us that are continuing to put pressure on Cecil have actually been victims ourselves. My example would be the first time I've ever contacted Cecil, it was a comment about the paranormal or something like that, and it wasn't any way attacking him or anything like that. But he attacked me, and then he mocked my appearance, and at the time I was in a kind of a vulnerable state, and I stayed off camera for about 6 months. And you know, this second time around, he's done the same thing again. But I know that when Cecil resorts to these personal insults and that he's got nothing on the table. Now, a normal person doesn't go over the boundary of being personal like that. It's kind of an unspoken rule that we don't attack families and we don't get personal. But Cecil doesn't have that kind of boundary, so, yeah.
Answer this for me. Would you just look the other way if you knew that someone has taken advantage of children? That's the predicament that we are in. All of us would really appreciate it if we never had to see his voice, see his face, or hear his voice again.
Well, I couldn't put it better myself. And that was actually spot on. Absolutely, yeah.
Please end our suffering. and come forward with your side of the events that took place. Thank you. The reason I said please end our suffering is because you think we want to look at your ugly fucking face? Your little fetal alcohol syndrome having ass? You think we want to hear your voice and to hear the dumb shit that comes out of your fucking mouth, Cecil? No.
To be honest, I don't see Cecil at this moment in time coming forward with his side of the story. And if he did, Cecil has a history of being a serial liar, and that's going to be a bit of a fly in the ointment, because how are we supposed to believe him, and how are we supposed to know if he's genuine or not? Because he's not very genuine as a person. There's where the problem is, like.
But we feel like we have to, because you keep feeling the need to go around telling people that you've molested children, and then you think you can just brush it under the rug and deny and attack and try and get things against people and use it against them to deflect any kind of blame or any kind of knowledge of the evil you've done onto other people.
What way can I put this? Maybe he's got some sort of mental disorder where he doesn't realize that he's wrong, and he believes himself to be a victim in that. Or is he just a serial liar? It's very difficult to really know, do you know? The difficult part is he comes out with this all online and that, and then he tries to bring it back, and he tries to blame everybody else for editing videos and stuff like that. You know, it's crazy stuff. It's not in the realms of normality, you know. And it's very, very difficult to see where this is going to all finish. And I don't see it finishing anytime soon, unfortunately. I won't see a sudden change in personality. I can't see that for some reason, you know, because he's been constant for the last number of years with this bad behavior and stuff, so I don't know.
That's narcissism. That's textbook narcissism, Cecil. Alright, second message. P.S. I'll literally verify my identity to prove I am who I say I am. I'll even give my address if I have to. Just please put a stop to this already.
Yes, Cecil has covered this line of messages in a live stream himself, which was more damaging to him, and he still read them out. I mean, like, it's beyond normal understanding, to be honest with you.
And here's your sister, rebelled Hal. He told me that he fingered the girls, and they would touch him over his pants.
Oh my God. Oh, this is getting bad.
I can't believe I didn't beat his ass when he told me that story. You know why I didn't? It's because of the way you told it to me. I thought about it for weeks until I formed the right opinion about you. That you're a remorseless fucking child molester, Cecil. You do deserve to get your ass beat. If I went back and knew that I was going to lose my job in a couple weeks, I would have beat your ass right then.
It seems the more that comes out about Cecil, the more sickening that it gets. And I think this This is at a level I haven't seen before. It really is.
I told her, I feel regret for not hurting you that day. That's the feelings I have about you. I feel regret for not bringing some kind of justice to you at the very moment you confessed to me that you touched those girls. Oh, looky here, here's your sister's response. This is the real Rosie. Wow, they were 8 and 10. He was 17. That's not fingerings. They wasn't old enough to consent. Uh-oh. Looky here, your sister said they were 8 and 10, and you were 17. And that was the time that she walked in on you.
Yeah, this really, it matches up with previous stories that have been told over the years, and so, yeah.
You said you were doing it for years. So what does that say? You were fingering these girls when they were like 6 and 8? Then I said, he literally just got off alive saying he was a little boy.
Yes, he says he was an underage, neglected little boy at 16 and 17. And that, but an 8 and 10-year-old can't consent to that kind of activity. There's nothing to justify that this is good. There isn't, and Cecil keeps trying to do that when the excuse that the video was edited doesn't work. He goes back to this, well, I was an underage, neglected little boy. That's not an excuse, it really isn't, you know? And then he mocks these victims, and that's the sickening part of all of this, you know? And people wonder why I jumped on this. I got into drama. This is not drama. This goes beyond any of this. I couldn't walk away from this, you know? There's no way I could walk away from this knowing that this has been going on and it hasn't been resolved, and there's victims, and he mocked the victims. The victims haven't got justice, and over the years there've been more and more victims of all different kinds, and I can't walk away from that. I've had friends that have been victims of slander and stuff, and that's when I doubled down, and I put myself in the firing line, and I've been called all sorts of fucking names. It doesn't matter about that. It's these friends. They were accused of neglecting their boy, and it's not true. And I couldn't walk away from that. I can't. I can't.
And then here's me telling her about how I contacted Teresa thinking it was her and that we got in an argument. She still continued the conversation. Wow, looky here. This is kind of stuff you can glance over, pause and read if you want. She asked, "What are you trying to achieve?" And this is kind of responses to other things, I guess. I said, "He went online and doxed my name and where I live. To answer your question, I just want this to end. I can't give up until I know your side of the story." And then here's her response. "Why? It was 25 years ago."
It really doesn't matter how long it was. It still happened. And that's the thing. That's the important thing. It happened no matter if it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 25 years ago. It's still an incident that happened, so, yeah.
"What does Cecil tell you my role was?" And I said, "He said that you walked in on him in the act." And she said, "Yes." looky here. She said yes. And then I said, his story's always changing, though. He seems to lie a lot. I had to correct that. And regardless of how long ago it was, I'm sure those girls still remember it like it was yesterday. Your sister replies, yeah, he lies.
All of us in the community will confirm that that is true as well. Cecil is a serial liar, and he's an extremely bad one. He says lies, and he can't keep track of those lies, so when he does more lies, he debunks the previous lies and makes them not make any sense. And he won't correct himself with it. He'll just say, I don't have to explain anything to you people. That's the way he responds.
Oh, I'm sure they do. As in, I'm sure they do remember what you did to them, like it was yesterday. And then this is me admitting that I've had bad sexual things happen to me to her, and telling her that basically I know from experience what that's like. And then she told me what you, Cecil, have already told everybody on the internet. She said, I was molested my whole childhood. And I told her, yeah, Cecil has mentioned that on his lives, and I hate to make you think about that.
Cecil Wayne Carroll spoke about his sister and her past, and the hurt and upbringing that she had without her permission. And the people in the community weren't too happy about that, and when he was called out on that, he didn't seem to care. That's the way Cecil is.
Oh, and here's her side of the story, Cecil. So,
this next piece is very, very damning, and I'm understanding now why Cecil is after this guy. I kind of knew he had something, you know. So, yeah, this next piece is really important here.
he was babysitting that night my daughter who was that night, my daughter who was a year, and them two girls. And here's just me telling her everything you've admitted to. Unfortunately, that isn't the only time your brother has been in sticky situations with children. There are multiple times where he has slipped up and told us stories from his past where children have tried to touch him.
I don't think anybody goes along with the idea that an 8 and a 10-year-old would make sexual advances to other people. At that age, 8 and 10. It doesn't make any sense at all. It makes sense in Cecil's head, but it doesn't make sense in anybody else's head. It's a non-argument, really.
Or he witnessed his boss stealing little girls' panties and rubbing them on his crotch. And you did nothing. And then I'm just telling her about your behavior. These people try to put themselves at the level of children. They often say they're mature for their age. Or some of them say, oh, I'm a child at heart.
Cecil on a live stream one day said that some 10-year-olds are fully developed with breasts, and they're mature mentally as well. I don't know why he had to come up with that, but he puts his foot on it every time. It's crazy. And in his head that's okay, like. And, he has said so many fucked up things that he thinks is normal, that normal society thinks is really fucked up. And in his head, we're the fucked up people. There's something psychologically damaging there. There's something mentally wrong. There has to be. There must be.
And yeah, I just confirmed. You've said these things about all the girls from your stories, and even your own daughter. You said 10-year-old girls are fully developed? And then you gave your daughter as an example?
Yeah, that was exactly what came into my head as well. It's really fucked up.
Saying she looks 17. She's already having her period. These are your words. These are things you said. We have video.
That was also an invasion of the daughter's privacy as well. Cecil, he doesn't care about anybody other than himself. Let's face it, like.
Of you saying these things, Cecil? Looky here, there's no justifying it. And that's pretty much the end of the conversation. Looky here, your own sister came, talked to one of your trolls, and told her side of the story, Cecil. So, Cecil, what do you think of that? You're the offender. I'm still a victim. Now you can go try and find some people that supposedly just know that I tried drugging females, but that's just a rumor, because I know, Jeremy, our former boss, knows, and old man Dunn knows that Dunn accused me of poisoning him. Just him. Nobody else. Period. Now you can quit talking about me unlawfully, because I could go to the police, okay, Cecil? You're an idiot. You need to stop.
Wow. That's the end of that. Now, that piece of audio was not planned in this video. It was just the first side of it, where Cecil accused this guy of certain things and stuff like that. That was supposed to be the video, and I felt I needed to put that in to make a balance, to have both sides. And boy, oh boy, have we got information. We've got a lot of information, and I can understand now why Cecil has been so angry. He's been on the warpath for the last 48 hours, and this is the reason why. A number of people have actually reached out to him for interviews and stuff like that, and to get more of a story and stuff like that. You know, I hope that this all gets sorted out soon, so we don't have to listen to Cecil lying again. We don't have to look at his face. I actually prefer this type of content where I'm not, having Cecil on video. The last couple of videos on this new channel, I've actually put in special effects, so his full face isn't really showing. It's kind of done in a cartoon kind of style and that. I prefer that rather than watching him, because he actually does make you sick when you think of all of the things that's happened over the years and stuff like that. I'm kind of extra angry now because I spent so many hours on this. This was not a live stream. This was a video that was chopped up and put together and constructed like a video. It took so long. This day has been gone just on making this video. So, if you want to support, please support my other channels like Live After Life Productions. I'm not doing this to get plays like Cecil says. you know, I'm not going to benefit from any of this. I need to show that message out there, you know. And I think it was very important. I think the day was well spent on putting this together. But, you know, I would like to get back to doing other things, you know. I would like to see an end to this whole saga of Cecil and his constant lies. Because let's face it, it has been just a string of complete and utter lies. Everybody can see through it. The only person that's convinced that he's coming across as a truthful, nice person is Cecil and two other people. Those two other people need to question their loyalty and really need to ask themselves, are they doing the right thing in standing up for this guy? The evidence is in front of you. You know, go through the evidence, have a good think, because following this guy and supporting this guy, you're supporting Cecil's actions. You're supporting his behavior. You're only encouraging his behavior by supporting him. Please, please, please think long and hard about this. I'm going to leave this, folks, because I need to get to bed, and you know, I don't want to be doing this all the time, because this is draining. This is draining. But do you know what? We feel like we have to do this. We have to do this. We have to make people aware of people like this. And you know, it's a sad situation. And again, there is victims involved. You know? Yes, I've made videos mocking him and making fun of him with other things that he has said. But deep in the background, there is this serious end of things. And that's what we covered today. And, you know, it's just getting worse. But it is getting worse for Cecil. Things are tightening up for Cecil. So he is going to be very, very unhinged. And he is going to come out with some crazy stuff, no doubt. So we will be here to catch it all. So we'll see you next time, folks. Thanks for listening. And yeah, I'll leave a link in the description to that guy's full video. You can watch it for yourself. So bye-bye, folks. Thank you.